Again, I think really competitive when we get out here for our champion U. Three really nice entries in this particular division. I think for me it just comes down to consistency, a little bit added width underneath, a little more boldness and internal capacity when we look at them in terms of a breeding standpoint. I'll show you my picks for champion and reserve.
Congratulations to Jamie Lynn Wigman for exhibiting the champion and reserve champion Black Lincoln ewes. We will now be moving into our pair of lambs, and we should have 2 entries. As a reminder to our exhibitors, at the conclusion of the show today, we will select Supreme Champion ewe and ram. We will have a Supreme Fleece, where if you want to enter, you choose your one wool sheep that you think has the best fleece, and you'll come into the ring. And then we will conclude with our junior and senior bred and owned champions, where you will just select one of your bred and owns to bring in to be considered for best bred and owned.
Two really nice pairs we get out here in our pair class. I think there's some similarities between the two pairs. I think the most uniform pair is the 2 young ladies here in the front. Just a really nice set in terms of their internal capacity, their width at the ground. Fleece quality, very, very similar in these two. Just real consistent. I think that's the right way to start. Young men here that are going to be second with a pair of ram lambs. Ones that have some extension to them, ones that have some fleece quality to them. Just not as uniform, not as complete as the 2 that are going to win. Congratulations to all 4.
Placings in our pair of Black Lincolns, first to Jamie Lynn Whitman and second to Trenton Latham. We will now be moving into our natural colored long wool shell. We're looking for 1 late ram entry from Preston Clark.
Once again, really nice single entry here in this division. This young man's Ram Lamb, very long, dense fleece on this guy, very uniform front to back. Certainly going to share a lot of pounds eventually. One that I think is good and wide at the ground. I like to change those rear hocks on this one just a little bit, square him up as he comes and goes. But one that's certainly big-bodied and got an exceptional fleece. Congratulations.
Placing in our natural colored lawn wool show, Champion Ram was exhibited by Preston Clark, and we will be looking for one entry from Preston Clark and as a late ewe lamb.
The real crazy ones. They're not that good. Okay. They're sensing his vibe. She moved just in time. So just don't let it fall. Okay. Yeah. You walk, but just or you can hop. It'll roll in a minute. It's the
Pretty cool little single entry here in this class. Once again, really a nice fleece on this one. Dense, long staple. Got a lot of separation to it. I really appreciate that. I like her a little bit better maybe on her feet and legs than I did the buck lamb. I think she stays a little bit truer in those rear hocks. Certainly athletic in the way she jumps and prances around the ring. But one that I think will certainly share a lot of pounds. One thing I would caution the young man on with her, she's a little bit over in her bite. Got a little bit of a monkey jaw to her. Just be careful the way you breed her on that, and you should be fine. It's not a big overbite by any means. Congratulations.
Stay right there.
Well, congratulations to Preston Clark for exhibiting the camp pair of lambs.
Going down.
Really a nice pair, I think, especially when we talk in terms of fleece quality. Very, very similar fleeces on these two. In terms of staple length and density, I think both really, really exceptional. Really a nice pair. Congratulations, young man.
First place in our natural colored lawn wool pairs went to Preston Clark. We'll now be moving into our natural colored fine medium show with our yearling ram.
Back to your environment. You're totally fine.
young man brings us a really nice single entry here in this class. A Black Welsh Mountain. I did study on these a little bit. I've heard of the breed. I've never actually judged them before today, but I think this is an exceptional entry. Really elevated up front. The thing that probably is the most impressive to me, he's bold in terms of his rib cage. He's wide at the ground. Really, really sound on his feet and legs, and I appreciate that tremendously. Should have a lot of years of service. Great single entry. Congratulations, young man.
First place in our yearly Ram class goes to Robbie Nichols. We'll now be moving into our fall Ram class with 1 entry.
No, not anymore. The next class is going to be green.
Impressive entry here in our fall Ram Lamb class. Really a big outline, level design kind of a buck. I like that elevation and extension he has up front. I think when you watch this one go, I really like the way he sets his feet and legs down. Has a lot of set to those rear hocks, which I appreciate. One thing maybe a little concerning for me, he might want to get just a little over in that front knee. And for a younger buck lamb, you know, in terms of longevity, maybe something we need to watch. I'd like to lay that angle of shoulder back just a little bit to correct some of that. But really an impressive individual, very uniform front to back in terms of fleece. Congratulations, young man. Young lady.
First place in our fall Ram class goes to Jamie Lynn Widman. We are looking for 1 entry in our early Ram class.
Okay, so you are going to be Yes.
Yes.
You're Abby Zimmer?
Yes, I'm Abby
Okay.
Zimmer.
Okay, so yeah, so there is 3 single entries on the list. So blue-faced lifers.
What is that?
Really nice little CVM buck. One from a structural standpoint I appreciate tremendously. Very, very true in terms of his foot and hock placement when we put him on the move. One that I think's got some elevation and extension up front. Very uniform front to back in terms of his fleece. Very hardy young ram lamb. I think this one could have a tremendous future in him. Congratulations.
We'll be looking for 1 entry in our late Ram Lamb class. First place in our early Ram Lambs went to Robbie Nichols.
So you want Robbie to take him? Okay. Okay. So.
Another really unique single entry here in this Black Welsh Mountain. Again, like the ones that we've seen before, very, very good in terms of structural correctness. Very true in terms of hoof and hock placement, really hardy individual. Maybe not as good a fleece on this one as the one that we've seen earlier today, but a really outstanding individual. I will, and of course the little bucklam's going to lay down on him now, but I was going to compliment the young man. All of these bucks he's brought in, very well trained, a lot of time spent at home, no doubt. Congratulations, sir.
Placings in our late Ram Lamb class, first to Robbie Nichols. We'll now be looking for our entries in our Ram division to come back out for selection of champion and reserve champion Ram.
All right, you're first.
Hold on. I need to get the halter. Oh, Lordy, here it goes.
Well, let's start with a round of applause for all these exhibitors. They're certainly out here working hard and have done a great job with their livestock. Probably as unusual a lineup of sheep as I've ever had stand in front of me in a champion drive in terms of types and kinds and things like that. It probably takes a pretty good picture because it shows the diversity of what we deal with from an industry standpoint. I think there's a lot of similarities in these animals in terms of their fleece quality. All have really nice fleeces for what their purpose is. I think it just kind of boils down to me on the champion, difference between the champion and reserve, a little bit more structurally sound, things that I think have a little more longevity. I'll go show you my champion and reserve.
Congratulations to Robbie Nichols for exhibiting the champion natural colored fine medium ram and Jamie Lynn Whitman for exhibiting the reserve champion. We'll now be moving into our yearling ewe class and we'll be looking for 4 yearling ewes.
This is a youth class, like it's just a class. But we need y'all to slide out the way. Alright, come on in, sweetie. Come on. Alright, you go ahead. Well, yeah, because they're just changing one sheep for another. We need, right here. There you go. We have one more. All right.
Another interesting and extremely challenging class, I think, to sort through. One thing I'm really confident in is that the big body brood view up in the front needs to start. Like the width, like the volume and dimension of internal capacity that she has. Really a big top, big hipped individual, I think, from a fleece standpoint. Very uniform, has a nice tight crimp to it. Should shear a really, really good fleece. Probably really close for me here in the middle between these two. The one I think is just a little bit better in terms of her internal capacity. The little ewe lamb we're going to use in a second. I like the added volume and dimension that she brings for her frame size. I like how square and true she is on her feet and legs. Young man's ewe coming in third. Another one that's really unique in terms of her fleece characteristics. Maybe a little sharp and quick off of her hip for me. Doesn't handle those rear hocks quite as well as the ewe in second. Young man's big ewe that we're going to round the class out with, another really nice fleeced individual, really good crimp, really uniform. I have some structural issues with this one. I think she wants to get a little too straight in terms of her shoulder, wants to get over on her front knee a little bit and maybe not carry those back legs. Ideally, when we watch her go away, want to change a few of those things from a longevity standpoint. Really nice class. Let's reward them all with a big round of applause.
Placings in our yearly ewe class. First to Jamie Lynn Whitman, second and third to Robbie Nichols, and fourth to Jamie Whitman. We'll now be moving into our late ewe lamb class, and we are looking for 3 entries.
So that here.
I know, it's always so funny.
Hello, I'm alright. How are you? Yeah, but
I think at times it can get really challenging between the different breeds and trying to sort out within their breed in terms of their quality and dimension and where they rank within their breed and how to sort some of those and place them together. Going to start with the young lady at the front of the line there. I just read this one as being the boldest bodied, best rib view in class. I like the added stoutness and features she has when we get to the ground. One from a fleece standpoint, I think really, really nice and uniform from front to back. Young lady coming in 2, I think this one's very unique in terms of her elevation and extension up front. She's one that I question if she's going to have enough body to her, hoping with age that maybe she gets a little bit more, she gets a little shallow and flat in terms of that rib cage for me. Kind of see that at the ground too, as she's probably the frailest and narrowest of the top 2. Young man's ewe lamb that we're going to have here in 3rd, one that I think is acceptable in terms of body. This one for me gets a little frail at the ground. She gets a little easy and soft in those front pasterns. Really kind of scares me from a longevity standpoint there. Really a nice class. Let's give them a big round of applause.
yeah, pairs right now. Yeah.
Stay in there, pairs.
We need this little.
Placings in our late ewe class, 1st and 2nd to Jamie Lynn Whitman, and 3rd to Robbie Nichols. We'll now be selecting our champion natural colored fine medium ewe.
Sorry. Okay. I'm sorry.
That was my fault.
No. Okay.
It's confusing.
Yeah. All right.
Second place. Behind us. Oh, they're doing great.
All right. So hold on. So now I don't even know which. That one. Okay.
Come out.
The big thing. I'm sorry.
That was my fault.
No, I thought it was here.
Robbie, get behind us. Her.
give them a big round of applause. A really nice competitive set of ewes, I think, here in our drive. I'll go show you the two I like best.
Congratulations to Jamie Lynn Widman on exhibiting the champion natural colored fine medium with her yearling ewe, and reserve champion on her late ewe lamb. We'll now be moving into our pair of lamb class.
They're not laying about it. Is this the pair? Because they're not, because it has to be the two youngest, right?
At the conclusion of our natural colored fine medium, we will be moving into the white border luster show.
You're going to get the big one. Side here. You can right down there. Just go right down there.
I think a lot of differences when we get our pair of lambs out here, not just in terms of size, but some structural integrity differences. I think that's kind of what sorts the pair for me. Young man said on the back side here will be your first place. This group will be second.
First place in our pair of lambs is Robbie Nichols, second Jamie Lynn Widman. We'll now be moving into our white border luster show. And we'll be looking for one entry in our yearling ram.
I just saw you at 2 and 5, and I was like, oh, get to do something.
Pairs.
Okay.
Thank you.
I think a nice yearling buck here, and while I might want to strengthen him a little bit right behind his shoulder, we certainly can't fault him in terms of his feet and legs and his his accuracy and foot placement when we put him on the move. A ram that's really vibrant in terms of that fleece quality, front to back, very, very uniform, nice entry. Congratulations, young man.
Placings on our yearling ram, first to Trenton Latham. We'll now be moving into our late ram lamb class, and we're looking for 2 entries.
If you want to go grab that yearling, the one that he was just in. Oh, sorry. Guess I'm shaking the camera. Everybody home's going, what the heck is going on?
I think an interesting pair here in our late Ram Lamb class. Young man's just a little bit more complete, I think, to win the class. A little more opened up, a little stouter featured. One that I think is a little more uniform in terms of lock development and crimp from front to back. Really nice entry, I think, to win the class. Young ladies Ram Lamb comes next. One that's going to have a big, massive top in him, certainly big and square to his loin edges. One that I think from a fleece standpoint gets a little coarse and open, kind of in a saddle there over that loin as well. Maybe not as good in terms of his feet and legs, wants to knee in just a little bit up front, compensate by hawking out a little as we watch him go. But a really nice pair. Let's give both of them a big round of applause.
Stay there, stay there. Stay there.
Placings in our late Ram Lamb class, first and second to Trenton Latham. We'll now be selecting for our champion and reserve white border luster ram. As we move into our youth show here momentarily, we will be looking for blue-faced lusters to be heading towards the ring.
I think 3 really good entries here in the Ram division, especially when we get here on the front line. I think 2 that are very similar in their type and kind. One hits me a little harder, one that I think has a tremendous future in him. Young man's Ram Lamb will be champion, the yearling will be reserved.
Congratulations to Trenton Latham on exhibiting the champion white border luster ram with his late Ram Lamb, and I'm having reserve with the yearling. We'll be looking for 2 entries in the yearling U class.
Really competitive too, that are very, very similar in terms of their type, kind, and build. Start with the young man, I think just a little more body, a little more broodiness, certainly a little bigger coming from hooks to pins, a little stouter in terms of her feature. One that's really uniform in terms of that fleece, definitely has a little longer staple to her, probably a little denser and will shear more pounds. Young lady coming two, I like the added elevation and extension up front in this one. She probably just closes up a little bit more at the ground. Doesn't come quite as stout out of her pins when we look at her from behind, but a really good pair. Let's congratulate both.
First and second place go to Trenton Latham, and we'll be looking for 2 entries in our late ewe-lamb class. At the conclusion of our White Border Leicester show, we will be doing White Lincoln, then Blue Face Leicester. As a reminder to our exhibitors, as you are winning awards today, you will find attached thank you cards on the back for those that have been sponsored. You are welcome to write your thank you notes today and turn them into us here at the table or at the sheep office, and we will mail those thank you cards for you.
I think a really good body view to start this division. Really appreciate the roundness and boldness of rib that she has. I think she blends a little better from her blade back into that rib cage. Comes a little stouter out of her hip. Young man's ewe-lamb in 2, like the added extension that she has up front. Certainly not as powerful. When we get in behind her, she's just closed up a little bit more. Really a bright, vibrant fleece on this ewe, however. Congratulations to both young men.
This is your yearling.
Placings in our late ewe-lamb class, first and second went to Trenton Latham. We are now selecting our champion and reserve White Border Leicester ewes. We also, if you are parked in front of the horse barns, and barn A specifically with a gray Ford, with a Maryland license plate AGR. You are blocking somebody in and they need to leave. It is a gray Ford license plate, Maryland AGR. You have somebody blocked in.
My congratulations to the young man. I think it's an exceptional flock that you've got out here. Really, really complete set of ewes. I think anybody would be proud to have them at home. Probably very minute differences for me. I think the two first places are probably the two I'm a little more attracted to because of their body and build. Young man's ewe lamb will be your champion. The yearling will be reserved.
Congratulations to Trenton Latham for exhibiting the champion ewe with his ewe lamb and reserve champion on his yearling.
Take those lambs out.
We're now looking for your pair of lambs.
They're twins.
I told that the one girl earlier, I think it was that.
Well, I know there's just one entry here, and if there was two, they would still be yours as well. So it doesn't, matter competition-wise. But I will tell you, I think that's an exceptional pair of ewe lambs. I think they're both very uniform. I think they both excel in maybe a little different areas, but I like both of them, and you should be looking forward to the outcome of the first mating here on these. Really, really unique set. Congratulations.
We're now moving into our White Lincoln show, and we're looking for 2 entries in our late Ram Lamb class.
Well, I'm going to start by saying there's only 2 of them, but if there was 10 of them, I bet they'd still be first and second. These 2 are both really, really good. I like the body shape. I like the width and dimension and power that we build from the ground on these 2. Big tops kind of individuals. They're big out of their hip. I think the young lady in front, the extension and elevation in the front end of that one probably is the reason I like that one so well. I like the design that this one has. Maybe like to see him get out a little freer off those rear two when we put him in motion, but I think there's a little anxiety with that one when we get him going as well. I think he probably relaxes and handles them a little bit better naturally turned loose. Young lady in two, maybe a little bolder in terms of that forerib. One that's big hipped, really uniform front to back in terms of fleece quality. Just not quite the elevation up front, maybe not quite the attitude that we have in our class winner here today. Really a cool pair. Congratulations.
Placings in our White Lincoln Ram Show. Champion and reserve go to Mackenzie Gill. We'll now be looking for 3 entries in our yearly U class.
kind of leave these in the order they came in, but I think it's really, really competitive on the top here. Young man's ewe that we're going to start with, I just see a little more elevation, a little more femininity up front in relation to the ewe in second. Still a really big-bodied, white-based female. I think she comes a little stouter out of her pins than our second place ewe does. Ewe in second, tremendously big-bodied, really big-featured when we look at her at the ground. One that maybe just wants to close up in her pins just a little bit for me, relevant to our class winner. Both really, really impressive females. Young lady coming in third, really uniform in terms of her fleece. One that's still got some elevation and build. She's a little quicker out of her hip. Doesn't have quite the body and mass of the two in front of her, but a really, really competitive trio. Congratulations to all of the exhibitors.
Placings in our White Lincoln yearly ewe. First and second to Mackenzie Gill and third to Ariel Lee. We'll now be moving into our late ewe lamb class, and we're looking for 2 entries.
You know, in the sheep industry, I know we pay a tremendous amount of money for these rams, trying to find the right pieces, breeding pieces and stuff, but I think the foundation is still a good set of females, and I really like these two we've got here in this class. Young lady's just got an impressive one, I think, to win. Like everything from the femininity and elevation up front to the mass and dimension through the center portion of the body. She's really big out of her pin. She handles her feet and legs well. And at the same time, she's got a very vibrant fleece to her as well. That's just a pretty good one to start. Nothing to take away from the young man in two. I like the femininity and elevation up front on this one. Just not as mature in terms of that rib cage today. One that's not as powerful when we look at her from behind, but another really high quality female. Congratulations to the two exhibitors.
First and second place in our late UN class go to Mackenzie Gill. We'll now be selecting our champion and reserve White Lincoln ewe.
I tell you, I think this has been a really, really competitive breed as we've worked through them. Really, really good females, 4 really nice ones out here. And as special as I think that the 2 yearlings are in this division, because I think they're both really, really high quality females, I can get pretty excited about this March ewe lamb. She's going to be champion, and then our yearling will be reserved.
She needs the ram lamb.
Congratulations to Mackenzie Gill on exhibiting the champion White Lincoln ewe with her late lamb, and reserve on her yearling ewe. We'll now be looking for our pair of lambs, and we have 1 entry. At the conclusion of our White Lincolns, we'll be moving into our blue-faced Lusters.
Well, I don't know what's to come as we continue through the day, and if there's a champion pair overall or anything like that. I just don't know how that works. They're going to be hard-pressed to find 2 that I think are more competitive or more complete than I think this little buck and you are. Just a tremendous, tremendous pair, high quality, front to back. Congratulations, young lady.
First place in our pair of lambs for Lincoln go to Mackenzie Gill. We'll now be moving into our blue-faced Lusters. We do not have any rams, so we'll be moving directly to our yearling ewe with 1 entry. At the conclusion of our blue-faced Lusters, we will be moving into the Lester Longhole show. So if you could start heading to the ring, as we only have a few ewes in our show now, Lester Longhole can start heading to the ring.
So I'll be honest with you guys, coming up here for the breeding sheep show and stuff, I wasn't real sure what all I would get to see, what the quality level would be. I expected it to be high, but you always kind of have those nerves, when you're looking forward to what you're going to get to see, with the plane rides and stuff like that. And then this young lady came out with this ewe in showmanship on Friday morning, and I told myself it's going to be okay. At least I know there's a place I can tie to, because I think this is an exceptional female. From the ground up, she's built wide, she's built stout, she's got a lot of internal capacity. She's very uniform in terms of her staple and her fineness of fleece front to back. Just a really good individual. Love the way she cocks that head off on the front side of her skeleton, very feminine and refined. Nice female, young lady.
First place in our yearling ewe goes to Abby Zimmerman. We'll now be looking for 1 entry in our early ewe lamb.
Another really, really good single entry here. These guys could certainly handle some more competition. Just really good, wide and stout at the ground, got a lot of internal dimension and capacity to her. Really bold and round about that rib cage. Big back on this ewe lamb in particular, really wide spanning across her loin. Feminine up front, good fleece. She's a nice entry. Congratulations.
Placings in our early ewe lamb class, first to Rachel Zimmerman, and we now have our one entry in our late ewe lamb class.
Another really nice single entry, a lot of internal capacity and volume and dimension in this girl. Another big back female, particularly back there over her loin. Maybe not as good a fleece when we get back over her britch as the ones that we've had in previous classes. Maybe not as stout from the ground up maybe, but really uniform, really attractive female to look at. Congratulations.
In our late ewe lamb class, first went to Abby Zimmerman. We'll now be looking for our 3 ewes to come back in for selection of champion and reserve champion ewe. As a reminder to our sheep exhibitors, we understand that they have started to release in the swine barn, some counties. We are still a 6 p.m. release. You cannot remove any lambs until 6 p.m. or you hear otherwise from us.
Really competitive set of females, a lot of uniformity as we look across the different age groups, different classes. I think 2 of them probably separate a little bit for me, maybe one that I just see a tremendous future in. I'll show you the champion in reserve.
congratulations to Rachel Zimmerman on exhibiting the champion Blue-Faced Leicester with her early ewe lamb, and Abby Zimmerman on exhibiting the reserve with her yearling ewe. We'll now be moving into our Leicester Long Wool, and we're looking for 2 yearling rams.
Really competitive pair of ram lambs. I think the young lady's darker featured ram, just a little bit denser in terms of that fleece characteristic. One I think stays a little wider at the ground, a little truer off those rear hocks. Really a nice ram to start. Young man's going to come second, another really long staple type ram. One that just doesn't handle those rear hocks quite as well. Really a good pair. Congratulations.
Placings in our yearling ram, first and second to Preston Clark. We'll be looking for 2 entries in our late ram lamb class.
What's after the Leicesters, the Oliver?
Another competitive pair. Young man brings a good one to win though. Just more width at the ground, more body dimension, certainly in better body condition score. I think he's got a big top side, a lot of top side power when you get to him. Really dense, uniform type fleece. Young lady in 2, a little longer staples, a little more elevated up front. One that's a little harsher in terms of body condition, gets a little flatter at the ground, a little flatter in terms of that rib shape. Really a good pair. Let's congratulate both.
First and second in our late ram lambs go to Preston Clark. We'll now be selecting for our champion and reserve Leicester Long Wool.
I think a really competitive breed drive, 4 really good individuals out here. I think one separates himself, that's the young man's buck lamb. He'll be your champion. Gets a little closer, I think, in my mind for reserve. I like the feet and legs, the natural width that the yearling has. He'll be reserved.
Congratulations to Preston Clark on exhibiting the champion Lester Longwool with his late ram lamb, and on his yearling ram receiving reserve champion. We'll be looking for 2 entries in our yearling U class.
Another interesting pair. Young man's going to go ahead and win, though, with one that's a little stouter, a little bigger, bolder body, a little more mass up on the top side. Really long staple dense fleece, kind of a U to win. Young lady's coming next, a little more feminine, refined up in that front end. Kind of shows when we look at the brown, though, gets a little frailer in terms of feature and foot size. Really a good pair. Congratulations to both.
Placings in our yearling U class, first and second to Preston Clark. We'll be looking for 2 entries in our late U lamb class. As we're coming towards the end of the Lester Longwool division, we will be going to other wool breeds next.
Another interesting pair. I think they give and take a little bit. Young man, so we're going to start with, maybe not as stout featured as I'd ideally like, but I do think this is the best fleece of the pair. Long staples, very locking as it moves towards the end. She's a big back female, very fresh to the touch in terms of her muscle pattern. Like the added femininity that she has up front. Young lady coming in 2, a little stouter featured, wider based, probably a touch more dimension to the internal forerib on this one. This one gets a little coarse when we get back into that bridge. Maybe doesn't handle those rear hocks quite as well as the one that we had to win. Really a good pair. Congratulations.
In our late ewe lamb class, first and second to Preston Clark, we'll now be selecting our champion and reserve champion Lester Long Wool ewe.
I think we get these guys back out here for our champion drive, and we've got a lot of similarities here on the front line. Two ewes that kind of stay together, ones that are built very similar. The older ewe's a little stouter in terms of her feature and width at the ground. She'll be champion. Young man's younger ewe will be reserved.
Congratulations to Preston Clark on exhibiting the champion ewe with his yearling and reserve champion on his lace. We'll be looking for one pair of lambs. First place in our pair of lambs goes to Preston Clark. We'll now be moving into our other wool breed, and we do have our rams. And we'll be looking for one entry in our yearly ram class.
We get our Scottish black-faced ram out here, and I think he's a really nice single entry. Big, bold-bodied ram. He's really dense in terms of his fleece. Most impressively to me on this guy, I really appreciate the structural soundness that he has. He's really true from hock to ground. He's really nice in terms of his foot placement when we set him in motion. Really covers his track. I think he ought to have a nice bit of longevity when we talk about in terms of breeding rams and stuff like that. Just a really good entry. Congratulations, young man.
First place in our yearling rams goes to Robbie Nichols. We'll be looking for one entry in our early ram lamb class.
This little Coswalt ram's really nice. Young lady said first time that he's actually been out, but I think you're going the right direction, young lady. Really appreciate the crimp and the lock to this one's fleece. Big back, big loined individual, good on his feet and legs. Like to see a little more time on feet for this one, see if we can blow that rib out a little bit, give him a little bit more internal capacity, but a bright future for that one. Congratulations.
Placings in our early Ramland class, first to Isabella Ortega. We'll be looking for 2 entries in our late Ramland class.
Another really nice Scottish Blackface ram coming out here in the young Ram Lamb class. This one's probably got a little bit more denser fleece than the aged ram did a while ago. Also good on his feet and legs. Maybe wants to hop just a little in off that right front, but a big bold bodied Ram Lamb for a March that I really appreciate for that. Young lady's baby doll that we've got coming next, the big stout featured sheep. Really like the hoof placement on this one. We set him in motion. Got a big back in him. Maybe just a little rounder hip. Probably not as bold centered as we'd like to see on these baby doll rams, but a really, really good pair. Congratulations to both exhibitors.
Placings in our late Ramland class, first to Robbie Nichols and second to Ariana Shannon. We'll now be selecting our champion and reserve champion other wool breed ram.
Pretty interesting division to sort through, and I guess that's what you get when you call it all other wool breeds. Lots of differences here, a lot of different phenotypes to start with. I think we have a pair of rams here, though, that kind of sort their way up just because of their stoutness of body and their structural soundness. Little differences in fleece, maybe a little difference on one hind leg, but your aged ram will be your champion, your young ram lamb will be your reserve.
Congratulations to Robbie Nichols on exhibiting the champion ram with his yearling and reserve champion on his late ram lamb. We'll now be moving into our yearling U class, and we should have 2 entries.
I'm sorry, I need you to take a vote. Take a review.
I'll be honest, I've never seen a Hog Island sheep before. Visited with the young lady a little bit, told me they were from an island off the coast of Virginia. Something new to me, but stock is still stock. When I look at the young lady in the front, I just see the more structurally correct ewe, the one that stays wider at the ground, truer to her front knee, stays square off of her rear hock. Ewe in second probably gives us a little more body dimension. But at the same time, she gets a little longer about her blade, wants to knee in just a little off of her front. Really a good pair. Let's congratulate the young lady with a big round of applause.
Placings on our yearly ewes, first to Jamie Lake Wigman and second to Ariel Lee. We'll now be moving into our early ewe lambs with 2 entries. We have another vehicle that needs to be moved. It is here on the corner of the Cow Palace. It's a GMC barrel and license plate 4DJ9239 in Arcadia. You are blocking someone in and they need to move. They are leaving, so your vehicle needs to be moved.
Well, another really interesting pair, obviously contrasting types. The young lady's Hog Island ewe, when we bring her out, I read her really level in terms of her design, really elevated up in that front end. I think she's really correct in terms of her feet and legs. Young lady's baby doll that we've got coming next, big broody body, big body kind of a female. Maybe a little too quick out of her hip for me. Wants to get in off of her rear hock just a little bit, but a really competitive pair. Let's congratulate these two young ladies.
Placings in our early ewe lamb class. First to Jamie Lynn Widman, second to Emma Shaw. We'll now be looking for 2 entries in our late ewe lamb class.
This is the last class and then champion, so let's see here. Correct. So is this your... Okay. I've been pulling at the various that's how I understood it. So this was your first from the yearling, that was your first from the early, and then you got waiting from that.
I only have 1 ram, so yeah. They were there for all the related.
Pretty cool little baby doll ewe lamb, I think, to start the class with. Really stout featured. I like how square she is from hock to ground. Big back, really thick, full loin, big out of her hip. Really a nice female, I think, to start with. Caldwell ewe lamb we're going to put in second. Really vibrant, fleeced female, one that's a little thin in my opinion. Need to see a little bit more flesh put on her to reach her full potential. Maybe wants to narrow up just a little bit when we look at her from the ground. Wants to bow her hawk just a little bit when we bring her around the ring. Really a good pair. My congratulations to the 2 young ladies.
Jamie, you like one?
Placings in our late ewe class. First to Ariana Shannon, second to Isabella Ortega. We'll now be selecting our champion other wool ewe. So Katahdins need to be on standby and heading towards the ring.
Well, I'm going to say probably one of the more interesting divisions that I've ever judged in my nearly 50 years of sort and stock. Really a unique set of individuals out here, a lot of different types and kinds. I think two of them probably fit me a little bit better. I'll show you your champion in reserve.
Our champion, Other Rule, went to Ariana Shannon with her late ewe lamb, and our reserve was Isabella Ortega with her late ewe lamb. We'll now be looking for our pair class, and we should have 2 entries.
No, I don't.
Pretty diverse pair of pairs that we have out here. We'll start with the pair of Baby Doll South Downs. I just think that these two are more similar in their type and kind. Both really stout featured, bold body type sheep, like the power that they have out of their hip. Put the Caldwells in second. I think a very interesting pair. Maybe just not as structurally sound for me when we look at them in terms of feet and legs, but a really, really unique pair as well. My congratulations. Let's give them all a big round of applause.
Placings on our pair of lambs, first to Ariana Shannon, second to Isabella Ortega. We'll now be moving into our Katahdin show, and we will be looking for 1 yearling ram.
Another nice single entry. This guy's really good about his feet and legs. He's elevated up front. Comes pretty level down his top line. Congratulations, young lady.
First place in our yearling ram is Emma Cole. We now have 2 entries in our fall ram lamb class.
interesting pair here. We'll go ahead and start with the young lady up front. I just see more width and dimension to this one, a little stouter at the ground, a little bolder about his rib, a little leveler out of his hip. Young lady certainly got a tremendous amount of natural growth. When we look at her buck that comes second, really long-sided, just gets a little too high in his spine for me. That's a product of being a little too straight in his shoulder and a little too straight off of his rear hock. Congratulations to both exhibitors.
Placings in our fall Ram Lambs, first to Jamie Lynn Whitman, second to Mackenzie Gill. We'll now be moving into our early Ram Lamb class, and we're looking for 4 entries.
Really competitive class. I think just subtle differences here. Young lady that's going to start us off with the fawn-colored Ram Lamb. Just a little longer-sided, a little stronger top sheep. I think he's got a little more width underneath. Certainly good in terms of his feet and legs. Young lady coming next. I like the body to this one. I like the elevated chest board, the dimension and spring to that forerib. Moving into third, another big-bodied, framey type sheep. Just a little more growth in this one maybe than the one that rounds out the class. One rounds out the class really good in terms of his feet and leg placement. Just a little green today, probably the harshest bodied one. Congratulations to all 4 of these young ladies.
Placings in our Ram Lamb class, first Emma Cole, second and third to Addie Collins, and fourth Aubrey Thomas. We'll be looking for 1 entry in our late Ram Lamb class.
For the champion yearling,
Another nice single entry here. I think this one comes with a little added width and stoutness at the ground. Big back top individual. Congratulations, young lady.
Come on, buddy.
First place in our late class goes to Rayleigh Barron. We'll now be moving into the selection of our champion and reserve Katahdin Ram. Attention sheep exhibitors, we still do not have a release time. It is still 6 p.m. We understand that the swine department has started to release by counties, but our release time is still 6 p.m.
I think a really good division, a lot of quality through all of these classes. Some that are certainly going to be good breeders as we move forward. Probably two of them that just fit me a little bit best. The better representation of the breed as a whole. I'll show you the champion and reserve.
Our champion Katahdin Ram goes to Jamie Lynn Wisden from the fall, and our reserve is the second place from the fall from Mackenzie Gill. We'll now be moving into the yearling ewe, and we're looking for 3 yearling ewes.
good trio here in our yearling Gattani class. I think the young lady's white ewe that's going to win just the biggest, boldest, and broodiest about her body shape. Certainly wide at the ground, got a lot of structural soundness when we look at her as she moves around the ring. Young lady's fawn-colored ewe that we're going to have here in second. I really like the femininity and extension up front on this one. Maybe just not as powerful out of her hip as our class winner. Round out the class with this black ewe. I like the levelness of design. I think she gets a little bit pinched from hooks to pins, wants to hawk in a little bit as we watch her go away. Really a nice trio. Congratulations to all three exhibitors.
Placings in our Katahdin yearling ewes. First, Clara Collins. Second, Emma Cole. Third, Rayleigh Barron. We'll now be moving into our fall ewe lambs, and we should have 3 entries.
And the second verse, same as the first. I think much like the aged ewe class, just got a white female in here that's just broodier, stouter. Big, bold rib cage in this one. I like the added feature she has at the ground, her levelness of design. Young lady's black ewe lamb that we're going to have come second here, one that I just read a little bit wider at the ground, a little truer off of her rear legs as we watch her move away. Maybe a little bit better right behind her shoulder. Young lady's fawn-colored ewe that we're going to round out the class with. Like the femininity and elevation up front, she just wants to break a little behind her shoulder. Maybe narrows a little too much for me when we get in behind her. Congratulations to all those young ladies one more time.
Placings in our fall ewe lamb. First, Mackenzie Gill. Second, Rayleigh Barron. Third, Emma Cole. We should be looking for 4 entries in our early ewe lamb class.
stout featured cool one to start with up front here, big-footed. Like the way this one picks them up and puts them down. She's bold about that forerib, probably the biggest in terms of her hip. Young lady's black ewe that we've got coming here in 2. One that's probably more attractive from the side, maybe maintains her top side levelness just a little bit better. Just a little frailer, a little narrower at the ground than our class winner. Same story here for the one that's coming in 3. Like the body, like the design, just gets a little too frail at the ground for me. And then the one that wraps up the class, unfortunately, just a pounds light, the one that needs more days on feed to compete. Really a nice class. Congratulations.
Placings on our early ewe lambs. First, Branson Taylor. Second, Mackenzie Gill. Third, Clara Collins. Fourth, Addie Collins. We now have our late ewe lamb class with 4 entries.
I think a really competitive class here in our last ULAM class for this division. Young man's kind of painted up doe that we're gonna, or the ewe that we're gonna start with. Just so stout at the ground, so elevated, so pounds heavy. Young lady that we're gonna have in 2, this one's really fighting her pretty hard, and she's being a trooper and battling it out here. But I just read this one as having more boldness of body, a little more mass and dimension when we look at the top side of her skeleton. Then we round out the class with 2 similar colored does that are a little tighter in terms of their body, both really feminine and extended up front, and I appreciate the soundness of structure that they have, the athleticism that they display. Congratulations to all those exhibitors.
Placing in our late ULAM class. First, Branson Taylor. Second, Aubrey Thomas. Third, Rayleigh Barron. And fourth, Emma Cole. We're now going into our selection of our champion Katahdin ewe.
a big division that we've had here with the Katahdins. A lot of fun sorting through them. A lot of different shapes and sizes and maturity patterns and some differences in terms of feet and leg. But I think at the end of the day, there's two of them that probably separate themselves for me in this division. I think it gets maybe a little bit close on the reserve. I think there's one that probably needs to win. I'll show you the champion in reserve.
Congratulations to Mackenzie Gill on champion Katahdin U with her fall, and Branson Taylor on reserve with his early lamb. Next, we'll be looking for our pair of lambs. We should have 6 entries in our pair of lambs.
Are you taking this one or space?
In the ring now.
Take carry on.
Placings in our pair of lambs.